Hey everybody, this is Dave. I'm usually the guy behind the camera, and I'm here with John Falstrom, and we just got done filming a whole series of videos talking about the modal system, where we kind of went in depth and up close and really talking about something that's really heavy in terms of music theory. Isn't that correct? Yeah. And so off camera between shoots and stuff, we were talking about a few things, and I wanted to talk to John and ask a few questions talking about things that are setting up a spot for practicing or doing something that's just going to be inspiring, help drive inspiration and creativity and make yourself a better musician. So my first question is, John, like this particular space,
right?
This is not the studio where you normally work. We
No.
came here. Why is that?
This spot is where I, as a kid growing up, used to practice in, and so this brings back a lot of just different ideas. So it helps me come up with different emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to come up with different emotions when you play a lot, and this definitely brought in a lot of different thoughts, ideas, and emotions. So yeah, practice is so important, Dave. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so so if somebody's at home and they're going to set up their own space, I mean, what are the things that you recommend? Like, I'm just looking off of camera. There's a map of the world, and up at the top it says EADG 4 conquers the world.
Right.
And there's like highlighted cities all over, so like just stuff like that. It's like, what are some things that you can do to drive creativity? I mean, you show them your buddy that you got standing on the amp over here. Who do we got? Yeah.
Well, this came from a buddy, Paul McCartney. This is one of these.
So we've got Paul. We've got a little Paul McCartney over
this
here.
Came from my buddy Scott Bonshire. Call out to Scotty. Scotty gave me this when I think I graduated music school back in 1988. So okay. I still got Scotty's Paul McCartney. Yeah, this is very inspirational. I mean, seeing legend Paul McCartney, a big idol or influence of mine, still with me, and I put him over here because he's part of my history.
Right.
And the map, yeah, EADG 4 conquers the world. That was given to me by a student named Drew back at Melody Mart, and this is right when my book came out back in 1993, and he gave me this map, and he was all pumped up, and he goes, EADG 4 conquers the world. So came from Drew. Drew was about 17, really cool guy, and I put it up on my wall, and for a while there I was just keeping track of all the cities all over the world and highlighting where it's gone, and Drew's kind of on the money there, and
right.
I stopped doing that after it became too many.
Right.
So yeah.
So, but putting some stuff up, like maybe some things on the walls, just stuff to look at. What about setting up your instruments? Like for in the videos, we've got this whole rack of basses back here. Like, give some ideas that where we can put things to be creative, but not being like a cluttered mess.
Exactly.
Talk about that. A couple things.
You got to keep yourself where you got to, first of all, don't isolate yourself too much where you don't know, you're not comfortable with your play, or just. So you're not, you're always wondering what's going on. Put yourself in a scenario where you still know what's going on, but it's quiet. A lot of noise and distractions is a killer. Forget that. So you gotta create a spot. You're right.
Right.
The basses, again, I have them, so I leave them out, and I'll pick one up. Again, constant inspiration and creativity. You got to surround yourself with musical stuff that you like, and find a place in your spot where you're comfortable with, where you're going to spend months, hours, years in sitting down and playing.
Right.
You're going to spend a lot of time there. You know what I mean? A lot of time.
Right.
It's kind of like in your woodshed. They call it the woodshed. It's time to work. It's time to work. Okay.
Right.
It's like your office. It really is. You got if you're going to be a serious bass player or a musician, period, you got to create like an office type comfortable zone where you can become, because you're going to spend a lot of hours there and you're going to develop.
Right. Okay, so you're saying that we need to find a balance though between creativity and business then too.
Yeah.
So, because I know like certain things though, I mean, you're going to have your bass amp set up off to your side. You're going to have your drum machine on top of it because you talk extensively about using
drum
that.
machine.
But there's nothing wrong with having a bobblehead on top of there.
No.
If that's what it's going to take to drive your creativity.
Right.
I mean, you got Ozzy back at Melody Mart. I mean, but stuff like that.
Yeah, like I said, from things when I was a kid in grade school, like Ozzy and Alfred E. Newman.
Right.
I got Alfred E. Newman everywhere. Again, it just brings out another side of me, my personality. So yeah, it's I got a lot of posters always on my walls of music, or it doesn't have to be music. It could be something I grew up with, something I can identify with.
Right.
You know, Alfred E. Newman, one of my heroes. You know what I mean? Seriously, I'm serious.
Right.
You know.
So, but just that whole idea of surrounding yourself with things that are going to be inspiring and creative.
Yeah, it'll definitely make or break you.
Right.
As a musician, without a doubt. You know, depending, if you don't have a right scenario, spot to practice in, Dave, you're kind of, it's going to make it so much. I can't, like I said, it'd be tough to be in a practice spot where it's like you want to just get out of there. It's just not inspiring.
Right. You
want to be somewhere else. You're not gonna. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna find yourself. You gotta put yourself with all your things that make you satisfied, or a reminder of something. It's gotta, the practice area has got to be, like I said, a drum machine, or a metronome, or a music stand. You see, I got music stands all over this place.
Right.
There's one here. I got a couple of amps. I got a lot of basses here. Again, it just keeps you in the zone. Posters of the Beatles and Elvis and people that I like. You know, every studio will be different, but surround yourself, because you're going to spend a lot of time there. I mean, a lot of time.
Right. So find stuff that's going to drive you to be the best that you can. That's going to inspire creativity and just keep you motivated, because that's going to be really important. So. And
after like you know, I believe in earning your stripes as a musician. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of bass you start with, because you don't know what you should be hearing or what it is about. So you should probably start with a cheapo bass and a little amp. It doesn't matter. Either you like the sound of a thing hitting the strings, or you love music enough. It doesn't matter. So and again, with a beginner, you're not going to know what's good or bad anyways. It's just getting to the point. You'll know when it's time. Okay, so you work your way up, and it's just getting going and giving yourself a fair shot at it. You know.
Right, but the meantime, though, is if you're going to put the work in, make sure that your space is going to be a spot that you're going to want to be in. So.
And like I said, when you're ready, get the best equipment you can afford. I mean, this should be number one priority. Get the best. This is a Rickenbacker 4003 2000. It's a great bass. It's one of my favorites. And this is not a cheap bass. You know, I mean, a lot of these are beginner. I've had some of these basses for 40 years. You know, I mean, this is a 1962K, Dave. And I had it, but again, do I play it a lot? No, but it's there. I love it. I pick it up. So always get the best bass equipment you can afford. Sell everything. If bass is that important, you need the best. To me, this is one of the best basses in the world, and I play it because it inspires me. It sounds great. It's what people are used to. So yeah, eventually get the best of bass equipment you can afford.
Gotcha. So.
Definitely.
All right. Well, we just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about just the whole thing about creating an atmosphere that's going to be inspiring and drive creativity. And we talked a little bit then about as building up and buying the best that you can afford.
Absolutely.
But another time we'll talk about buying equipment. But anyways, just this was a little impromptu discussion that I wanted to put together while we were filming, and figured we'd put that out for you guys to enjoy. So
what day is today? May 6th?
Today's May 6th,
2016.
I think right now, well, we've always been 40 minutes south of Chicago Loop and the Mighty Soldier Field.
Right.
But over the course of these videos, we've been progressively going deeper in the ground. I think right now we've hit like bedrock. So I think we're about 1,250 feet down. They had to drop down oxygen, and we had a canary flown around to check the air.
This is one of my headquarters. This is an EADG 4 headquarters.
We're in the bunker. In case if there's ever if the end of the world comes, this is the bug out place.
I'll be safe. We'll be safe. EADG 4 will continue.
Yeah, in the back he's got canned goods.
Right, exactly.
All right, well, that's it for now, and thanks for joining us for this little conversation, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks for coming by.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.